Everyone, my name is Sarvil Dashgupta. So I'll just give a brief background about myself. I did my bachelor's in chemical engineering at University of Calcutta. Then I did my master's at IIT Kanpur, and currently I'm doing my PhD in chemical engineering at Cornell University. So the thing is, from 15th September, most probably most of the universities are going to begin their application process for fall 2024. So so there are a lot of things which they're going to ask. So one of the things among them is the statement of purpose, SOP. Many of my juniors are asking for some suggestions regarding that, so I just want to give a very so I just want to give some very important points regarding what to write in your SOP. So the SOP is going to be unique for each and every person. Just remember that. So you cannot copy someone's SOP, or you can although look at someone's SOP to grab an idea regarding what to write, but your SOP needs to be unique from others. Even your LORs need to be very unique, otherwise the thing is, the chances of you getting into the university will decrease. So the number one thing which you need to understand is who your audience is. So I'm saying this because if you were applying for a bachelor's degree or for a master's degree, the admission committee will be different. But if you're applying for a doctorate degree or a postdoc degree, the admission committee is going to be different from what it was for your bachelor's degree. In the so the thing is, in India, the PhD is the stipend and all these are given by government. However, in the case of uh, doing PhD in US or other universities, the stipend is not at all given by the university. It is given by the professor under whom you will be doing your research. So your audience is the professors, because the admission committee for PhD applicants are going to be judged by professors. So you need to understand that. So over there, if you write things like you are a very good person in doing extracurricular activities, you have done many things, you have lot of leadership experience and these kind of stuff, they're not at all interested, because they want someone who is willing to do research, and research requires lot of dedication and devotion regarding a single area. So if you start saying that I have been in the football team for a very long time, or I'm an excellent chess player and all these things, uh, that won't really affect too much. So what to do is, if you have done these things, like if you have played a lot of extracurricular activities, then you might need to tweak your writing in a little bit different manner, so that it would mean the same, but it would mean in a very positive manner. For example, if you have played football in your team, so you write in your SOP something like this. Do not copy my words, but write something on the same line. You write that during my bachelor's, I have played in my football team, and while playing in my football team, I understood the importance of teamwork, which enabled me to do better research. Because at that after because during my sessions in the football team, I understand how important it is to be a team player. So that's why when I was doing research with my other colleagues, I was able to work as a team. Now, for example, if you're a chess player, then rather than writing that I am a chess champion or I have played a lot of chess games, you write like this: when I was playing chess, there were times when I was stuck in varieties of positions and I was unable to think what to do. But due to this uh, playing chess, I have developed this skill. I've developed analytical thinking skills because of chess. Even in times when I do stuck in research, I'm able to think carefully and I'm able to take a step back and think from a different perspective. So playing chess has helped me in increasing my concentration and You get my point, right? So rather than just stating that I play chess or I have played in the football team or I have done karate or these things, you write these things but in a different manner, which will show the professors, because they are the ones who are going to pay for you. So they need to know what kind of a person you are. So if you have played chess or karate, done karate, or you're a singer or anything, you write this. You mention those things, but you also mention the qualities that you have learned from these extracurricular activities and how these qualities will enable you in doing better research. This was my first point. Know who your audience is. My second point is, in the SOP, if you mention some faculty's name, there is a high possibility that your SOP will be sent to those faculties for reading. Okay, so let's say you mention Professor XYZ's name in your SOP, then your SOP will be analyzed by Professor XYZ. So you need to keep that in mind. Sometimes it is the case, sometimes it is not the case. Let's say there is some very old professor present, so there's a high probability that he is not going to look at your SOP. So SOPs are generally checked by assistant profs and associate profs, like those who are already a very reputed professor and already in this area for a very long time. They anyway knows that the good students are going to select them, so they really do not bother about checking so much. So this comes to my third point: do mention names of assistant professors, because they are willing to take students because they have just joined the department. And if you mention names of assistant professor, then they will be glad to take you. They will think that, okay, wow, this student has mentioned my name, so they will read your SOP with more care. But if you, let's say, mention only the name of the very reputed professors, but your SOP is not read by any reputed professors, in that case, you might be. I mean, you get the point, right? So my third point is to do mention name of some assistant professors, and my fourth point is perhaps one of the most important point when you're writing a SOP. Like, this is what determines whether you will get to an university, whether you will get the university you want to or not. Like, I actually faced this point, and I experienced this point. So this is better to apply at universities where the professors are doing active research in those areas where you have your research experience. Okay, so let's say you have research experience in solid mechanics and you're applying in a university where there are no faculties who are doing current research in solid mechanics. Let's say they're doing research in some fluid mechanics kind of scenario, or something spectroscopy, something like that, but there are no faculties doing in solid mechanics. So even though you have done many good things and you have very good research expertise in solid mechanics, there are chances that you will not be selected in that university. So when you're targeting university, so this is my fourth point. So when you're targeting universities or anywhere, so you must find faculties who are doing their current research area, whose current research area is something where you have already have some research experience. So if in a university XYZ there are some faculties who are doing research in solid mechanics, and your research area is also solid mechanics, like you do have some research expertise in that or some research experience, then your chances to get selected in that university increases. So these were some of the few points that I wanted to mention. If there are some other questions that you have, please do ask me.